Hello, I'm Lenny, and welcome to the continuing adventures of Lenny Wanser. In this video, I'm going to discuss the horror sci-fi film Phantasm, which was released in 1979. It's rated R and has the runtime of 1 hour and 29 minutes. Now, if you have never seen this film before, you are not going to want to watch this video at this time because I am going to be talking about what takes place in the film. The movie begins with a man and a woman in a cemetery at night, and they are getting it on, when suddenly the woman turns into an old man and stabs and kills the other dude. After those opening events, we meet Jody and Reggie, who were friends with Tommy. Tommy is the guy that got killed in the cemetery, and they're attending his funeral up at the Morning View Cemetery and Funeral Home. While up at Morning View, Jody goes inside the funeral home / mausoleum to pay respects to his parents that just recently died. And the mausoleum, the funeral home, is a massive maze of white marble hallways and red curtains all over the place. While visiting his parents, a tall elderly man startles Jody, notifying him that the funeral for Tommy is about to begin. This is the same man that, when Tommy was messing around with the lady in the cemetery, turned into. Since the death of their parents, Jody's younger brother Mike has been following him all around town, spying on him because he's afraid that Jody is going to leave town without him. Mike, who's spying on the events after the funeral, is rocking a pair of binoculars, and he sees the tall man lift by himself Tommy's coffin, which it took about 4 people to carry from its burial plot, and puts it into the back of a hearse, taking the coffin back up to the funeral home. While sneaking around the funeral home to check things out, Mike is chased by a caretaker and by a chrome flying spear ball that he dodges and impales within the head of the caretaker, digging in, drilling in, and actually shooting out blood and gore out the other end. While inside the mausoleum, Mike comes across small murderous dwarves that are wearing small hooded brown cloaks that truly resemble Jawas from Star Wars. Not only that, but Mike also crosses paths with the tall man who is now after him. While at the local bar in town, Jody hooks up with a woman wearing a lavender dress who takes him to the cemetery at night because she wants more intensive one-on-one action. This is the same lady that did Tommy in more ways than one. You know what I mean? Mike tells Jody everything that he has seen thus far, but of course, Jody doesn't believe him. Upon further investigation, Mike finds out that the tall man is digging up dead bodies from their graves, including the recently dead Tommy, and reanimating them, bringing them back to life, shrinking them down to size into these murderous slave demon dwarves. Within one of the rooms of the funeral home is a white room with 2 metal rods protruding from the floor that leads either to a red-hot hell, or it looks like how Mars has been depicted in old sci-fi films, a red planet where there are hundreds upon hundreds of these slave demon dwarfs. We also learned that the tall man himself isn't human. He has yellow blood and is in fact either some kind of super demon or some strange intergalactic alien from God knows where. After surviving a confrontation with the tall man, Mike is finally able to convince Jody and Reggie that he's been telling the truth the whole time. The 3 of them agreed to put an end to what's going on up at the funeral home and an end to the tall man himself. After destroying the gateway within the funeral home, Reggie is killed by the tall man, who tricks him a la Bugs Bunny style by appearing as the lady in the lavender dress and then stabbing him to death. Mike and Jody devise a pit trap which the tall man falls into, and they seal it off, or seal it shut, with large boulders, leaving the brothers victorious. But not so fast. Pump the brakes here. We learned that the events of the movie, everything that we have seen, is actually Mike telling Reggie what he has experienced experience. We learn very shortly after their parents were killed that Jody is actually killed himself. And Reggie tells Mike that it was just a horrible, bad dream. Reggie tells Mike that even though he knows he is not his brother and he can never replace Jody, that he would like to take care of him, and Mike agrees. So Reggie tells him to go upstairs, pack his gear, pack up his belongings, because they are going to hit the road and leave town. While upstairs in his room packing his gear, we see within one of the mirrors the tall man. And Mike turns and then sees him too. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a bunch of hands break through one of the windows and they pull Mike out into the night. That is how the movie ends and the credits roll. Phantasm oozes 70s weirdness. It's a strange film. Most of the story doesn't make sense. There's also a random music jamming session at one point within the film, out of nowhere. But the truth is, I enjoy this movie. Strangeness, weirdness, and all. The tall man, the flying chrome spear, the car, the musical score are all iconic within the horror genre. If you're looking for something new, something strange, something different to watch, if you're looking for something that is out there, then I highly recommend Phantasm. Rating time. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best score that I could give, I give Phantasm a 7. This is not a perfect film by any means. It's wonky, it's weird, it's bizarre, it's strange, but those are also some of the very reasons why I like the film. I highly enjoy it. It's just a movie that I like. If you think the video is worthy of a thumbs up, please feel free to do so. And if you enjoyed the video and you want to see others just like it, all you got to do is hit the YouTube logo, which is down in the corner, and you'll get a notification anytime I upload a new video to the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about these things that I love. I greatly appreciate that. Please be safe, be careful, and I'll talk to you soon.